Well, hey, we're back, ladies and gentlemen. We're talking wrestling in our 100%. And Triple H isn't retired. Triple H is just not gonna work on smaller shows. I guarantee you Triple H works WrestleMania. Of course he would. Why wouldn't he? All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're back. We'll get to all that entertaining information when we're joined by Katie Summers, the sexiest motherfucker in the world. She is. She really is. She's sexy. It goes without saying. So, anyways, I guess I looked at my update today, and big Kim Jong-un is still missing. He missed the ceremony to pay. What else did he? He missed something today. He did something else today that everybody was all tripping out about. So he did. Basically, Kim Jong-un is still missing. Everybody doesn't know where he is, and they're all distraught. I know. I know. It was on one of my updates, so I just wanted to. Fucking Kim Jong-un. I wonder what happened. I don't know. We'll see. We'll probably get more news Monday. Because remember, nothing ever happens over the weekend. Always remember that, guys. Nothing ever happens on the weekend, and it's just a standstill. It really is, and it's almost like Ebola is a standstill. Everything's a goddamn standstill when it comes to the weekend, which is kind of amusing, to say the least. We haven't plugged the book in a while. Let me plug the book. It's Drink the Kool-Aid right here. And you can purchase this. It's on eBay. It has a DVD with it. The DVD is a documentary about my court case. It's got Larry Flint in it. It's got Bill Maher. It's got who else? A bunch of senators. Brownback's in it. Orrin Hatch is in it. Me. The prosecutor, Mary Beth Buchanan, that's in it. And of course, the book is it's a comedy book. It's not our political rantings. That's going to be coming out next week. We're putting together our political book, and that will be available next week. This is comedy. It's got my personal life. It's got Duck Dynasty. It's got all sorts of crazy things. It's got some XPW stories. So go buy it now. It's on eBay. So you can use your credit cards, your PayPal, whatever you want. You can use and buy the book. So buy it. It's good. It's entertaining. You'll be amused. And of course, the DVD is with it. So buy it now. Here it is, right there. Look at my cute face. Look at that. Hi there. Anyways. Oh, God. Friday. Big day. So, a couple things I wanted to touch on, if you will, and talk about. And we're going to talk about it probably more and more as the weeks go on. But I kind of been saving it for probably about 5 days. When Joe Biden came here, it got me really fired up. And let me explain. So Joe Biden was here in the beginning of the week, and he was with Mayor Eric Garcetti, and they were basically here talking about the economy and things that we could do in LA to improve the economy and help people, and it was basically like a little economic summit. But ultimately, it was Mayor Eric Garcetti talking about wanting to raise the minimum wage in LA to $13.25, and it would go up $1.25 the first year, then $1.50 each of the 2 following years, until ultimately we got the $13.25. And I heard people on, of course, the conservative talk radio here in LA spouting off the same BS line that you hear on a regular basis from Republican know-nothings, which is, oh great, so we're going to raise the minimum wage to a bunch of burger flippers and a bunch of people that have no ambitions in life, and people that are in their 40s and 50s, and they couldn't do anything more with their lives except flip burgers. And why should we pay $13.25 to people that have given up on their lives, or to a bunch of pimply-faced kids? This is a travesty. This is wrong. And again, this notion that is constantly put out there that minimum wage only affects fast food workers is something that has gotten out into our public dialogue, and nobody, and when I say nobody, I mean the Democrats, have combated that with saying this is complete BS. And let me explain something to you. First off, we have a nationwide minimum wage. And that nationwide minimum wage is $7.25. Okay? So, basically, everywhere in the United States, we have a $7.25 minimum wage. And if you times that by 40 hours, that comes to $290, which comes to $15,000 a year. So, in theory, if you own a business, you do not have to pay your employee more than $7.25. Now, I'm going to give you a roll call of just some of the bigger states and what they have as a minimum wage that's higher than the nationwide minimum wage. And we're not talking about much higher, but it's a little higher. California has $9. Florida has $7.93. Nevada has $8.25. New Jersey, $8.25. New York, $8. The great state of Ebola, Texas, $7.25. Utah, $7.25. Arizona, $7.90. So, if you use the $8 figure that is in place in New York, and in theory Arizona at $7.90, and Nevada, which is $8.25, $8 times 40 hours is $320 a week, and that comes to $16,640 a year. And if you want to be generous and go to the $9, which California is the only state, you have 40 hours a week by $9, that's $360 a week. That's $18,720. So those are the low ends and the high ends of minimum wage. Now, this notion that the only people that are affected by minimum wage are people that work at McDonald's and Jack in the Box and Wendy's is complete BS. Minimum wage, ladies and gentlemen, is the bare minimum that corporate America has to pay their worker. Plain and simple. And it doesn't matter if you're a McDonald's worker or if you're the front clerk working the desk at a hotel. The notion that we don't talk about people that work at Best Buy, people that work at restaurants, people that work at places like AT&T where you buy cell phones, grocery stores, movie theaters, the mall. Every one of those jobs are what fuels the American economy. And those are all minimum wage jobs. And what that means is if you have a phone store, okay? You got a phone store down the street. Like in California, there's tons of them. All right? There's mom, pop phone stores. There's corporate phone stores. Every one of those phone stores have workers. And you walk into the store, and someone goes, hey, can I help you? And you're like, yeah, I'm looking at getting a phone. Those people are paid based on minimum wage. Meaning, you open a business, and you say, what is minimum wage? Oh, minimum wage is $9 in California. Okay. I'm either going to pay the worker $9 or I'm going to pay them $10. If I could, I'd pay them $7. But in California, we have to pay workers $9. What the hell do you think somebody gets paid that works at a convenience store? And are you going to tell me that convenience stores don't fuel the economy? Are you going to tell me that Fry's Electronics or Best Buy don't fuel the economy? There's hundreds of Best Buys across the United States. What do you think? The people that work at Best Buy are making $75,000 a year? When you walk into Best Buy and you have 10 people working the registers at Best Buy and then another 25 people on the sales floors, what do you think? That they're making $20 an hour? You think they're making $1,000 a week? Are you people insane? They're making minimum wage. They're making anywhere between $7 and $10 an hour. That's a fact. So when people say, you know, we need to raise minimum wage. Oh, really? We need to raise burger flippers? No. What about the mall workers? Every city in America has a mall. Every mall has a store. Every store has workers. What do you think those goddamn workers are paid? $1,000 a week? Not everybody in the United States can work for Goldman Sachs. Not everybody in the United States can work for Chase Bank. So when you go to the mall and you see Macy's, you know, Macy's department store, What do you think the women that are working the perfume counters make? $1,000 a week? Every one of these people make their living based on minimum wage. Macy's sits there and goes, okay, we're in California. Minimum wage is $9 an hour. So we have to pay the guy that works the suit and tie section of Macy's minimal $9 an hour. Minimal. If we pay him $1 more, we're giving him $400 a week. What do you think the suit and tie guy makes at Macy's? What do you think he's getting paid? What do you think he's getting paid, ladies and gentlemen? Minimum wage or a little bit more, depending on how long he's been there. But if you go and apply for a job at Macy's or Sears or JCPenney or any of those types of stores that are in the mall, Burlington Coat Factory, Ross. You know when you walk into Ross, shop for less, name brands at discount prices, and you see about 20 workers, what do you think they're getting paid? $1,000 a week, you morons? They're getting minimum wage. They're not flipping burgers. They're not pimply-faced teenage kids on summer break getting a part-time job. They're the American worker. Every corner there's a gas station. Every gas station has a worker. What do you think that gas station attendant is getting paid? $1,000 a week? He's getting minimum wage or a little bit more, depending on how long he's been there. But their pay is based on what minimum wage is. So if minimum wage was $6, guess what? They're going to make anywhere between $6 and $7. If minimum wage is $6, what corporate American business would pay that person $10 an hour? No one. Corporate America. And corporate America goes for somebody that owns a convenience store. If you own a convenience store, you're corporate America. You are an entrepreneur. If you own a business where you are responsible for having employees, and you're responsible for insurance, and you're responsible, you are part of the corporate structure. And for that, you base how you're going to pay somebody on what the law states you have to do. If that wasn't the case, then anybody and everybody in America would have health insurance, because the American owner of these businesses, regardless of how big or how small, would say, oh, well, I should give my worker health insurance. I should help them with health insurance. That's the right thing to do. They don't, because they're not required to. No different than when they go, okay, I need to get 3 employees. How much am I going to pay them? Well, what's minimum wage here in California? $9. Fuck it. That's $9 an hour. 40 hours a week. That's $360. I mean, yeah, it's $18,000 a year. That's what I'll give them then. And that's it. So are they flipping burgers? No. But is that convenience store or 99-cent store valuable to the way our economy operates? Hell yeah. Look at the 99-cent store businesses. 99-cent stores, Q Prime or Q Dollar. These stores, there's hundreds of them all over the United States. And they employ thousands of workers. How much you think those workers are getting? How much you think those workers are getting to jockey a cash register. They're getting minimum wage or a tiny bit more. And if you take a position of, well, then they should get an education. What? What are you again? There's only 1% of the United States that make over $200,000 a year. The other 99% make $50,000 and less. If you take your car and you go to any city in America, there are more convenience store, restaurant, gas station, Best Buys, phone stores, movie theaters. There are more of those business that make up our economy than there are a Goldman Sachs. You can't sit there and say, well, burger flippers are uneducated and they shouldn't get paid more. But that's not what makes up the fabric of our working class. Movie theaters, movies is a billion dollar business. How many movie theaters are in the United States? I could think of, off the top of my head, 4,000. When I hear of a blockbuster movie opening and it says it went to 3,600 movie theaters, so let's say 4,000. Well, if each of those movie theaters employed just one person, that's 4,000 employees. So let's just triple that. And that's even a unrealistic figure because we know movie theaters have more than 3 employees. But let's just triple that. So the movie theater business employs 12,000 people. Those 12,000 people are not making $1,000 a week. They are making minimum wage or a little bit more. Are you going to say that every one of those people are uneducated, unmotivated, and people that are just resided to living a loser life? I mean, this notion by conservative dummies that anybody with a minimum wage job is an ignorant, stupid person that has no ambition in life is ludicrous, considering that our economy is made up of more minimum wage based jobs than any other jobs that are out there. Because every single one of these businesses that I have mentioned make up more of our economy. Hotels. How many hotels are out there? How many motels? How many businesses are out there that operate as renting rooms for people to sleep in? Well, they all have front desk clerks. They all have waiters. They all have cleaning people. They all have workers that are part of that hotel. Well, how much do you think those people make? Aside from the manager or the assistant manager, but everybody else, how much do you think they make? Minimum wage or a little bit more. There is nobody that is in a position in California making more than $9 or $10 an hour that works at the mall, gas station, movie theaters, grocery stores, Barnes & Noble, Fry's. Nobody. There's nobody at AMC movie theater chain or Arclight that are paying those people $15 an hour. If minimum wage is $9, they're not giving them $12, $13, and $14. They're paying them between $9 and $10 an hour. And as they are there longer, maybe every year they give them an extra quarter raise. Barnes and Noble. Barnes and Noble. There's tons of Barnes and Noble. One of the only bookstores left. Well, when you go in there and the workers are there behind the cash register, stocking books on the shelves, how much do you think they're making? The Barnes and Nobles in California, how much do you think they're making? Exactly. Between $9 and $10 an hour. Plain and simple. Drugstores, grocery stores. What do you think people are making? Unless they're unionized, and we didn't even touch on that. If these businesses got unionized, then of course their wages go up. But that's because they're unionized and they're forcing those corporations to pay a higher wage. But without that union, what do you think those people are making? Minimum wage. And this notion, ladies and gentlemen, and let's think about this, and you never hear anybody combat any of this nonsense. But when people say, well, if I have a business and you make me pay the employees more, I'm not going to hire more employees. Do you understand how ludicrous that sounds? Let's think about that. Think about that. It's the same notion when somebody goes, well, if I have to pay more for this, I'm not going to expand. I'm not going to grow my business. Well, people don't grow their businesses or hire more people unless they're doing more business. If you have a business and you're selling widgets, and you have 5 people that work in your store selling people widgets, and every day more and more people come in the store, and you don't have enough employees to service the people who want to buy widgets, so in turn customers are waiting longer in line to buy the widgets, so they say to you, I'm going to another store to buy a widget because your store doesn't have enough workers to help sell the widgets. So in turn, ladies and gentlemen, if then you have to pay an extra $1 across the board to these employees and hire another employee on top of it to serve a bigger demand of people wanting to buy widgets, you're going to say that you won't because you have to pay your employees more? That makes no sense. But nobody ever tells these idiots. No one ever tells these morons. No one ever tells these people that their logic doesn't work. But it doesn't. If you have to hire more people, you're hiring more people because you're doing more business. So in turn, by saying, well, I'm not going to hire more people if I got to pay them a little more money. So the whole reason to hire more people is because your business demands that you hire more people. If you run a machine shop and you're outputting widgets and you're not outputting enough widgets to meet the supply and demand of those widgets, and you have to employ more people to make more widgets, but you're not going to do it because you have to pay the people more money, so you're going to turn business away? That makes no sense. That makes no sense. Makes no sense. It goes against all logic of the business world. It goes against all logic of the business world. If you do more business and you have to hire more people, or you're doing more business and the people that are helping with that business say to you, hey, we're bringing in all this extra business. Could you throw us some extra money? You're supposed to say, well, yeah, I'm making more money, then you should make more money. So if you make more money, you'll work harder to keep the productivity up so I make more money. That's the logic. That's what's supposed to be done. When you hire more workers, you're hiring more workers not out of the goodness of your heart. What business, what corporate structure says, oh, we don't need to hire workers, but we're going to hire workers even though we don't need them just because it feels good inside. People hire more workers because they need more workers to meet the supply and demand of what they're doing. Plain and simple. It's common sense. It's economics 101, my friends. It's economics 101. It is amazing that there's never pushback when Republicans, conservatives spout off minimum wage and burger slingers. And nobody points out all of the other businesses that are based off minimum wage. Because those are the businesses that fuel the economy. I go down the street from this office on Lancashire Boulevard, and from Lancashire to where I live, there's 3 fast food places, okay, and the rest of them are all ma and pa businesses along with corporate businesses. There's 3 AT&T phone stores. There's a Ralph's. There's 2 auto stores, you know, like Pep Boys style stores. There's 3 convenience stores. There's a flower shop. I mean, there's 3 restaurants. Let's see. A TV repair store. 2 furniture stores. These are all businesses that have employees that make minimum wage. They're all stores that have employees that make minimum wage. And if you're really going to tell me that raising minimum wage by $1 to somebody that works in a flower store is going to make that business go out of business, then that business should never have been in business in the first place. An extra $1, talking about an extra $40 a week. Talking about $160 a month extra. If you're going to tell me that there are businesses in this United States that are operating at a $160 level that will put them under, that is the biggest line of BS I've ever heard. Fast food does not represent minimum wage. Minimum wage is represented by every other fabric of our economy. And to wrap this up, ladies and gentlemen, let me throw some of these institutions out there, these corporate giants, and what their executives make. And then you tell me if these workers got an extra $1 or $1.50 on their paychecks per hour, it would make these companies go out of business. Yum Brands, which are the corporate entity that owns Pizza Hut, KFC, Taco Bell, their CEO, their boss, David Novak, makes $37 million a year and has a 5-year compensation package over $81 million. Target. You all know who Target is. Target. You think those people are making more than minimum wage? You really think they're making thousands of dollars a week, the employees at Target? No. But their boss, Robert Ulrich, is making over $39 million a year and has a 5-year package worth $104 million. Capital One. You know the Capital One banks? It's in your wallet. You know that? Capital One, the credit card company. All right? Think about all of the people that work for Capital One, all of their workers, not just their top executives, but they have workers. They have workers across the globe that get paid from Capital One that are working in situations that are minimum wage settings. Any Capital One office you see, any Capital One corporate entity has receptionists, has office cleaners. They have everything on a level that is not somebody that is on a $60,000 or $70,000 salary a year. Well, the boss, Richard D. Fairbank, makes $249 million a year and has a package that ultimately is over $500 million over 5 years. It's $500 million for the it's in your wallet guy. Okay? Hilton Hotels. The Hilton Hotel chains, which has cleaning crews, front lobby people. We discussed this 20 minutes ago. The boss, Steve Bolenbach, makes $31 million a year and a package that's over $70 million over 5 years. And when I say a year, some of their money slides down depending on the year and what gets kicked back. I'm just giving you their first year of pay and what a 5-year plan arcs out to. So Hilton Hotels, the boss there, is walking away with $70 million. So you're going to tell me that they can't pay the maids and the lady at the front desk that goes, "Hi, welcome to Hilton. What can I do for you?" "Yeah, I'd like a room so I could fuck this hooker." "Okay, do you want a single or a deluxe?" Home Depot. We all know what Home Depot is. Hundreds of Home Depots. You're not going to tell me that the people working the paint department of fucking Home Depot are making $1,000 a week, are ya? You're not going to tell me that, right? You're not going to try to bullshit me with that, right? Well, their CEO is making about $20 million a year and has a package worth almost $100 million over 5 years. CVS, we all know what CVS is. CVS, there's hundreds of them. They've got a lot of employees. When you walk into the store, they're not making $1,000 a week. They're working in the minimum wage range. Well, Thomas Ryan, he's making $18 million a year. General Mills, food company. Steven Singer, $18 million a year. Sprint, phone company. They sell phones. They have phone stations. Hi, welcome to Sprint. You like to buy a phone? Yes, Sabrina. Well, how are you? What do you think Sabrina's making? She ain't making $1,000 a week. She's not making $20 an hour. Coach, clothing store, clothing, purses, Coach. $55 million a year their boss, CEO makes. They have Coach department stores. They got places that involve minimum wage workers. Ladies and gentlemen, minimum wage is not something that only affects fast food restaurants and everybody else that works in a store across America. They get, $100,000 salaries. Minimum wage is the standard at which a business bases on what they have to pay employees. So if minimum wage is $7.25 in Texas, what do you think a worker at Target is making in Texas? I guarantee you that worker isn't making more than $9 or $10 an hour. And that's if they've been there for a bunch of years. That Mexican girl that's working the cash register in the Texas Target, or the older lady that's working the jewelry department in Target in Texas, is lucky if they're making $8 to $8.50 an hour. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the reality of minimum wage. Minimum wage is exactly what it is. It's the minimum of what corporate America has to fucking pay people. And if minimum wage was $5 an hour, guess what? That's what corporate America would be paying people. It's the Rob Black Show. We're going to take a break, and when we come back, we're going to be joined by Katie Summers, and we're going to get the news of the day. There's going to be no breaks. There's going to be nothing. We're going boom! Right on through to the other side. And we'll be back in about 3 quick minutes at the Rob Black